The quarterfinals are underway, and the number 8 seeds from Qatar get us underway, serving the number 10 seeds from Brazil. Ahmed putting himself in harm's way, but Andre finding the sand.
Off, showing that he's going to be aggressive, making the Qatar block move around.
Cherif, the early target, is picked by George, but he backs himself up with a beautiful rising block.
Going to take some energy off the crowd, or whether Qatar, who have had a pretty cruisy day. Going to feel nice and fresh. But that's a pretty fresh block from Andre.
And it's kind of like that Monsters Inc., you know, where you get the scream. Feel like it's a bit like that for the Brazilians with the crowd. They fuel the players. And some of the wins that George and Andre have had, they've definitely been reaching deep into the crowd to help them through some tough times.
There's around Andre. I love the big, tall guys. I think it's
potentially everybody was expecting of them. So I think a good result heading into Paris here would do them, well, just a huge amount, just do a whole load for their confidence.
These events, you have to be at a level to actually get, you'll have to hold back just a little bit. So by the time you get to the Olympics, you're feeling fresh physically. You may have some things, some plays up your sleeve, you know, may save it for the games. Who knows what's happening behind closed doors?
Beautiful side out for George. So this result now will catapult their average well up into Olympic qualification. George and Andre, obviously in a race for the Olympic place with some phenomenal Brazilian athletes, Vitor Felipe and Renato, and that they are now just playing for the seeding.
Easy play for Andre, just has a quick look, and you can kind of tell whether it's going to be a really good hittable ball. I think Andre...
Line blocks called by Andre. Interesting to watch the defense set up of Brazil. And George just running down, that's time given to him by the block from Andre. George just holding in position, and they catch Cherif's hands on the way out.
Could be in for another fantastic three-set match. I know you love the three-setters, Denise.
I certainly do.
You're all excited.
Cherif putting a huge amount of pressure as he runs to the net and gets the ace for Qatar.
It's a float serve still, but it's coming from a big height. You can see how quickly it dropped. Andre didn't even have time to adjust to that last little bit of float at the end.
This time corrals it, he's passed a bit narrow, runs the back set to open up the space, and he gets the hands of Cherif on the way out.
Outs, but when you see that they're under a little bit more pressure, that's when you know that a point is very near. Well, maybe a point here for Brazil, and it is.
Jump sets, they sort of shied away from it a little bit when it's windy, but they start to bring it back. Jump sets to try and stretch the blocker and create different kinds of shapes in their lines of attack. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting concept over how and why the jet game has got to change, because they definitely... The highest blockers were probably 6'4", 6'3" in the beginning. When you think about the original gold medalists, a whole heap taller. Although Jonathan Helvig, he's not got a gold medal around his neck already, but he might be one of the smallest. And also the first time that the Brazilian Federation have let the players play out on the FIVB tour. No early selection for the Brazilians. Andre goes back to serve, edging ahead 12-10.
They love their volleyball. They enjoy playing together. They've got just as much passion in them as the Brazilians and the Brazilian fans.
Great hustle. Oh, nobody home. It's surprising Andre taking an early rush away from the net.
Left-handed on that ball, but wow, he did a 360 to watch the ball come over him.
Ahmed definitely creating a lot of noise for the Qataris. Boyd holding his ground, gets a touch.
Their opponent likes to hit, or what their blocker is leaving open.
Under pressure. Andre just patient, holds his ground.
Nice for George to be able to have such a massive blocker patrolling.
And from the indoor side, 18-9, down to what we have been playing with on the past 24 years of the 16x8. So throwing up that spin, trying to go heavy and gets a dimple dribbler for his pleasure. There's still a lot of old school volleyball players out. Indeed, and Andre gets the ball into play. Ahmed taking a look, and George on the hustle. Bounces up, coming in strong. Ahmed keeping it alive. Oh my goodness me, can they find another way? They can. Oh, and a phenomenal finish.
Finish this off, just if they stay solid, a couple more side outs.
Andre taking care of the middle. Has to have a good look, he's off the net, and Cherif turns. George tries to block, and Qatar get that valuable 17th point, games back, and keep his team buoyant as he goes back to serve. With that jump float, dropping in the middle. Andre holds back, and he gets a line tag.
A little bit, but he put enough topspin on it.
Challenge through the middle. Andre draws back. Oh, and Cherif with a complete miscalculation.
Never mind, Brazil get their set point. They have been after.
Ahmed gets a good pass in. Ricochets through the block of Andre. That was a good lead from Qatar, and we are all square. Oh, challenging serve. But a brilliant finish, and way to bounce up, but the courage of Ahmed Tijan on the baseline. Oh, serving up a storm. And Cherif going long. The opportunity was there, and it came and went so fast for Qatar, and Brazil take the first set 22-20.
There's always someone in the crowd that will fire them up. Here comes the Mexican wave.
And Qatar doubling down on the second ball option. A must-win set if they are to continue their journey here in the Elite 16 in Brasilia. But in their way, the number 10 seeds from Brazil, keeping hold of the ball, rescuing it from the brilliant block of... And if you just joined us, we had a medical time out, and now I think you can see from the players, we have got a forfeit due to injury to the Qatari blocker Cherif Samba.